United States of America. With that, viewers, we're shifting our focus towards the Indo-Pacific. We're now learning that the United States has reaffirmed its support for the Philippines amid rising tensions in the South China Sea. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has condemned China's plan to designate the disputed Scarborough Shoal as a nature preserve, calling it a coercive attempt to advance Beijing's expansive territorial claims. Now, Scarborough Shoal lies within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone but has been under Chinese control since 2012. Filipino fishermen fear that the nature reserve designation could further restrict their access to traditional fishing grounds, with Chinese vessels now closely monitored. Rubio has urged China to respect the 2016 ruling by the arbitration tribunal, which found that Beijing had unlawfully prevented Filipino fishermen from operating in the area. He's criticized China's actions as undermining regional stability and sovereignty. Now, in a show of solidarity, the Philippines recently conducted joint naval patrols in the South China Sea with the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command and Japanese Navy near Zambales province, which is close to Scarborough Shoal. Meanwhile, Chinese state media has claimed that Manila had held joint patrols with unnamed non-regional countries. That's what China had to say with regards to these drills. Earlier with us on the broadcast is Dr. Satoru Nagao, fellow at the Hudson Institute, joining us from Tokyo. Thank you so much, sir, for taking our time speaking to us on NewsX World. Of course, Scarborough Shoal has been a point of contention. There was a ruling by the Court of Arbitration. As per the UN clause, it was found that China had violated the United Nations law of the sea. That's not all. China still continues its activities and its military build-up in the region. We all know about Spratly Islands as well, Mischief Reef, where they're now building artificial islands as well as military bases, airstrips. The United States once again reaffirming its support for Philippines in the South China Sea. But what, in your assessment, needs to be done to ensure that it's not just statements that are put out, but concrete action against this aggressive posture that China is now, in fact, adopting should be taken?
Yes, the concrete action is moving in this region indeed, because firstly, the Scarborough Shoal is a very important place. If the China builds artificial island in the three places, Paracel Island, Scarborough Shoal, and Spratly Island, they can make the triangle. And from these bases, they can deploy the fighter jet, the bomb. So this is very important, because if they deploy the fighter jet, missiles, this weapon from the artificial island, the triangle connected through these three places creates a sacred place for the Chinese submarine. Chinese submarine can hide in the triangle by the protection of the fighter jet or patrol plane or naval ship from these artificial islands. In this case, these submarine hiding in this region can equip the submarine-launched ballistic missile, especially the recent published JL-3 can reach the Washington, D.C. from the South China Sea. So that's why by protecting the artificial island, the missiles, the fighter jet from the artificial island, this submarine can attack the Washington, D.C. anytime. So that's why if the China want to get full South China Sea, China want to build this triangle. But currently, China's artificial island is located in the Paracel Island, and Spratly Island, but not Scarborough Shoal. So China really want to build the artificial island, Scarborough Shoal. That's why the conflict, something skirmishes, not kill someone, but have happened between Philippines and China and the US and China. And if the China gets the South China Sea, China builds the Scarborough Shoal and gets the South China Sea, it will relate it with the Taiwan crisis situation, because from South, Taiwan will be vulnerable. So that's why recently United States tried to deploy the missile in the Philippines, long-range missile, short-range missile, both are latest one deployed. And the U.S. has already published a plan to build the factory to produce ammunition in Philippines. This will be the first ammunition factory in the Indo-Pacific region of the U.S. and Philippines. So that's why the Philippines is fortifying now to protect the South China Sea, to protect Taiwan. So in the key of the U.S. strategy in this region. So that's why this is very important and really military move, military deployment or military fortification has really happened for both U.S. side and China side.
So a quick follow-up to that, we'd recently seen heightened PLA Navy activity, especially in Philippines' exclusive economic zone. We'd seen recent a collision take place between two PLA Navy vessels as they were pursuing a Philippine Coast Guard vessel as well. But what's interesting is the language that Beijing has adopted. They have in fact designated Scarborough Shoal as a nature reserve. Is this an attempt by China to skirt around international law?
China's remark is hiding real intention is purpose. So because when China built the artificial island, that time China said, this is not the military purpose. But after that, China built a runway on the island and deploy missiles, fighter jet, that has happened. This means that when China says something, this is not trustworthy remark. Just hiding the real intention and say something, it looks like very familiar or friendly to the other country, but that's not the real intention. Real intention is proved by real act. And act is, this is move of the military. So that's why this is serious. In this case, not only the Philippines, Japan, or United States, but also India also realized India's naval ship, the patrol and hold joint exercise with Philippines, and India export BrahMos missile to Philippines. Why? Because Philippines realized how serious this is. When the Prime Minister Modi visits Japan, there is a sentence in the joint statement. They are concerned about situation in the South China Sea and East China Sea, clearly written. In Philippines, this is same. So that's why this is age of maritime rivalry and maritime expansion of China, and with India, the other country try to stop it. That is really happening in this region.
All right, Dr. Nagao, I request you to stay on with us as we are tracking further updates. We're shifting focus towards Myanmar, where we're now learning that